Hey everybody, happy Friday. Thanks for ending your week with us here on Northern Life. Anything go wrong for you guys this week?
What a way to end the week. Anything go wrong?
No positives, just anything. Well, maybe acknowledge our mistakes. I don't know.
Sure. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
good.
I think it was a solid week for me
Nice.
for the most part.
Nothing major.
The TikTok ring probably was the low light of this week.
I think so.
But for ice anglers out there, the phenomenon known as ice shoves have returned to a lake in Wisconsin due to recent high winds. And those winds have sent ice shanties skating across the ice out there, as you can tell on this video. So if that's your shanty, you're going to want to go catch that.
Looks like a ghost truck is driving it. What the heck is going on?
Or it's getting pulled by a fish under the ice.
Oh, there we go. It's a big fishing line.
Yeah, how about that?
That's
That
crazy.
could be interesting.
That one thing with when we went out ice fishing, you got to make sure that you screw those big, huge screws into the ice so it holds on to the. Because I mean, that's a huge metal thing. That's like a vehicle right there that's
True.
being blown around. Imagine something that Adam or Dan own. That little what is that called?
A tent?
Plastic, a tent.
Yeah.
A tent.
Yeah.
That will fly around like crazy. So you got to make sure
Yeah.
you screw that thing down.
Yeah, no kidding.
No one's
Good
playing
advice.
Wind ain't playing around out there.
No way.
But hey, coming up on today's show, I get to chat with Julie Albers. She is the guest cellist who'll be playing with the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra this weekend. A wonderful person. She's talking about the importance of music to us humans and why we should always continue to learn and grow every single day. It was a really great conversation.
Yeah, then looking ahead to the weekend, Punxsutawney Phil is gearing up for another Groundhog Day appearance. America's Buddy Phil is the most famous weather forecasting groundhog in the game, while Punxsutawney Groundhog Club says Phil is correct 100% of the time. According to the Storm Facts Weather Almanac, Phil has actually only been accurate about 39% of the time over 135 years. Yeah. So you guys, what do you think Phil's going to predict this weekend? Do we have an early spring or a long-lasting winter? I looked it up because I forgot. Last year he said early spring.
Oh, we did.
And we had an early spring.
We did have an early spring.
Whoa.
Yeah. He was
Bumped
right.
up that
Okay.
39% record.
Yeah.
40 now. Is that 40%?
I'm going to guess long-lasting winter. I know it's probably an unpopular guess, but I'll say long-lasting winter.
Just because I like conflicting things, I'll say it's going to be a shorter. It's going to be an early spring.
It's going to be neither.
Yeah, it's going to be neither. Winter's going to continue forever. I think it's going to be short, though. Let's see what happens.
What kind of thoughts do you have on Punxsutawney Phil as a meteorologist?
Whoa.
He's all right. I mean, obviously don't put your trust in an animal for a
competitor,
forecast.
maybe?
Put your trust in this animal for a forecast. There you go, folks.
That would be a great promo for our weather department. Genius.
Don't listen to that animal. Listen to this animal.
We'll get the Jimmy the Groundhog mascot out to do our promo with us.
There we go.
Yesterday we did introduce you to Jimmy the Groundhog, and I had to do even more digging. There are a ton of other animals across the country who help guess what our future weather is going to look like. There are a ton of great names out there. That first one you saw, Alan McButterpants, a groundhog in Hampton Bays, New York. We got Benny the Bass, a foreseeing fish whose annual weather prediction kicks off Winterfest at Buckeye Lake, Ohio. Boise Bill, who is a plush prairie dog from Boise, Idaho. Scramble the Duck here from Eastford,
Cute,
Connecticut.
Scramble.
Makes a prediction on Duck Day every single February 2nd. And then we had that Bee Cave Bob, who has helped Texans since 2010.
What? What's a bee cave Bob?
I think it was the armadillo. It was the armadillo on there.
I saw a stuffed bear, too. What
Yeah,
was the
that was
stuffed bear?
Boise Bill, the plush prairie dog.
So he doesn't even
Who
see.
I believe is currently on a sabbatical.
Sabbatical. You better take a rest. He works real hard, Boise Bill.
Hasn't made a decision in a while, so I'm sorry for the folks in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sabbatical.
Yeah.
I like Scramble the Duck.
Scramble the Duck was
He
pretty
was
cute,
pretty
but I like the whatever McButterpants.
I want that to be my next TV name, McButterpants.
That's your McButterpants.
Yes.
All right, everybody, speaking of TV, prepare for a new Little House on the Prairie. Netflix has ordered a reboot of the long-running TV show that's loosely based on the popular books. The TV series ran for 9 seasons and spawned 3 made-for-TV movies. No word just yet when it's going to come to the streaming service, though. But I never really got into Little House on the Prairie. But I always forget this is based on Minnesota, isn't it?
It is?
I believe so.
I did not know that. Oh, that's
I think it
pretty
takes place in Walnut Grove, Minnesota,
Oh, I
which
did not
is a
know
real
that.
place.
Yeah. It's one of those shows that I think our parents had a fond memory of. There were some shows I did connect growing up. Leave It to Beaver, I thought was a great show.
one, yes.
Couldn't really connect to Little House on the Prairie. Maybe I just didn't give enough of a chance.
cool.
Yeah.
That one, The Waltons, is one of my dad's favorite shows.
Oh,
It's
okay.
similar to that one, but I love The Waltons. That's a great one. Or I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
That's one of the
Yeah.
best TV shows of all time. My gosh, so many good ones. But who's obviously the original actors aren't going to be replaying those unless they're
I
like
imagine not.
110 years old or something like that.
They might be
Probably not.
retired by now.
Yeah, maybe the kids are alive still.
Maybe a special cameo from the kids.
There we go.
Hey, looking ahead, Green Bay, Wisconsin is getting ready to host the NFL Draft this year, and a local bakery shop is partnering with the Salvation Army to give visitors a taste of Wisconsin with some new flavors of the state's famous Kringle. They're going to host a Kringle battle, and to be honest, I have actually never heard or tried of Kringle until today. It is a sweet, flaky pastry that originated in Denmark, is often filled with fruit, nuts, or cream cheese.
Didn't even know you could eat Santa Claus. That's crazy.
My guy Chris, wow, is doing a lot of good work out there.
I guess he is. Year round.
If you know any places in Wisconsin that are offering good Kringle, let us know. We'll go try it out.
There's got to be one close to here, I would assume, right? Maybe Superior?
We'll find one.
Maybe
We'll
Superior
find
eggs.
one.
Art director Shania says it's delicious. So
Really? It looks really good.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't go with like a cheesecake or something, you know, being like cheese, Wisconsin.
Oh, that makes
dairy, You
sense.
know, that could have been like a testament to the area that the draft's being hosted in, but Kringle it is, I guess.
Kringle it is.
yeah.
Kringle. Let's name a pastry nobody's heard of before.
Wisconsin is now offering a new specialty license plate from the Forest Association. In order to receive the cool new special plate, though, Wisconsinites will need to commit to a $25 annual donation, which will then be used to help advocate for and promote sustainable forest management in the state. This new plate joins the growing list of 61 special plates that can be ordered online in Wisconsin.
A lot
that
of
looks
options.
kind of cool.
yeah, it looks beautiful.
Did somebody paint that, I wonder? It looks very painted. Is that what
You
it
think
is?
it's just, yes, sure.
And quickly, there's a Minnesota radio DJ who posted an opinion piece online. He says, if you run into a bad driver in Minnesota, likely they have a blackout license plate. So
Really?
That's in his opinion.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's any fact of that, but in case you run into somebody on the streets and you go, that person was a bad driver, check their license plate.
Have to pay attention.
Hey, coming up, an acclaimed cellist joins the show talking about tomorrow's performance. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. As we get to experience on our show, Northern Life, always a special opportunity to meet folks who are at the top of their profession. And earlier this week, I got to chat with an amazing cello player who is set to take the stage in Duluth this weekend.
My name is Julie Albers, and currently I'm principal cellist with the St. Paul Chamber Orchestra and also on the faculty of New England Conservatory in Boston. I started because I was really annoying to my older sister, who was already playing violin. And my mom, who is a Suzuki violin teacher, decided to just give me a violin and start me to take my attention off of her while she practiced. Music was something that was just always a part of my life since my mom was a violin teacher. My dad was also a choral instructor and pianist. I thought everybody played an instrument until I don't even know what age I was when it occurred to me that, you know, when I asked somebody, well, what do you play after their name, that they just kind of looked at me and didn't really have an answer for that.
This weekend takes you to Duluth. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe what the maybe more about the composers, or maybe what the mood is or the style that people can expect?
First of all, the part that I'm not involved in, Brahms Symphony No. 3 is my favorite of all time. So you cannot go wrong with that. For the cello concerto portions, the Korngold is actually written for a movie called Deception that came out in 1946. Korngold basically escaped all of the horror of World War II by coming here, and he became a Hollywood composer. And so he was writing a lot of movie music, but he was really, I mean, he was a prodigy growing up. He was, kind of, perhaps a different level, but along the lines of Mozart. Like he did a lot of very serious composing. And I think sometimes he gets a little bit like, oh, he's a film composer, but it's great music.
How does a cellist perform for these big type of performances? Do you have to do you stretch? How do you get ready do you look at the score, the entire score the night before? What do you do?
In the time leading up to it, yes, I do a lot of looking at the score. Before the actual performance, I find that the most important thing is that my hands are warmed up because there's nothing worse than getting on stage. You know your hands are going to be cold with nerves and that, but you want to just know they are actually warmed up even if they're cold. And just having like an hour before where I can just mentally focus, not be doing a million things, because as a mom, it's very easy to do a million things until the second that you are on for something. And whenever I'm doing concertos, I really do try to keep that space for myself so that I can be, in a mind frame to get into the music and to perform. I think music in general, and this does sound cliche, but music can go places that words cannot. And I think that that's what really moves me about music, is that you can't describe how music makes you feel a lot of times. You can't describe the connection that two musicians will have on stage or not have on stage. There's a lot, or somebody sitting in an audience that they might not know anything about the piece, but they felt something. And I think, music, along with other art forms, is really unique in being able to do that. So much of the time, I think we try to find too many words for something that can be felt. And I think it enhances life to feel, to have those moments where we're unplugged and just like experiencing. I think it's so important that it's easy to be a perfectionist as a musician. I suppose in any job that will be easy, but something that you spend so many hours of your life working and to play it exactly in tune with exactly the right sound, this and that, you kind of get this false idea that there is a perfect version of it. And when you don't achieve that, then, it feels not great. I think it's important in both a musical and professional sense to always know that there's more to learn. And that's kind of why we do this, because I think for me, I love learning.
A big thanks to Julie for talking with us. It's like I said, it's always cool talking with people who are at the top of their profession, and also how notes she had about life or maybe work can relate to your own sector of work.
Yeah.
She was talking about how even some of the best musicians at the top, they're not willing to collaborate or be willing to change or try things differently, and the ones who are seem to be more successful.
Yeah, I've never thought about the orchestra being like such a team sport,
Yeah.
all of everybody having to come together at the exact right moment. We saw the concentration on the guy with the cymbals there. Yeah, you got to be ready and to play your part, and it is really a team activity for sure.
Yeah.
You really don't think about just how complicated that is, where you got 100+ people in the room together. You all got to be exactly on time, and it works out. That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
Man.
and a lot of great advice too for future musicians out there who want to succeed. Be sure to grab your tickets to watch Julie perform with the Duluth Superior Symphony Orchestra this weekend. You can head to their website at dsso.com. We'll also have it on our web story coming up later today. Their Masterworks 4 performance is set for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the Deck here in the city of Duluth.
Very, very cool.
Sounds like a great time. Well, hey, coming up, quite the find at a Minnesota garage sale. We'll show you after break.
Welcome back, folks. If you're looking for more date ideas on the town this weekend, the DSSO is a great option, of course. And downtown, you can enjoy an evening of fun at the North Shore Theater. The one-act play that goes wrong opens tonight, kicking off a brand new year of shows for the Duluth Playhouse. Get your tickets at duluthplayhouse.org. I am a huge fan of any TV show, any play, anything that breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this breaks the fourth wall quite a bit, because it's right. It's a play that actually is about a murder, but then the actual cast starts to kind of things go wrong with the play. Is that kind of what
that's
happens?
fun.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like watching people put on a show that everything is just terrible.
my
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's like an inside, it's
pretty
an
funny.
Inception kind of
Yeah.
in a play.
Ooh.
And you guys are going to Lusky if you need more weekend ideas. Yeah.
True, a lot of fun to be had on the range. We got the sliding hill.
Yeah, oh, it's going to
Yeah.
be super cool. The ice luge, you got that thing that's spinning around that you're going to hopefully be riding.
I can't wait.
It's going to be super
Yeah.
cool.
Winterfest at Bayfront, our director Shania says too.
Yep.
So a lot of good ideas out there for
Yep.
you.
Ton of it. Well, to our south, a painting bought at a garage sale in Minnetonka, Minnesota is blowing people's minds as to how it ended up here. According to a newly published expert analysis, someone purchased a previously unknown portrait by Vincent van Gogh. What? That's crazy. It was made by Van Gogh during his stay at a psychiatric hospital in the south of France back in 1889. The owner apparently bought it for just $50 at the sale. Yeah, and some people believe it's actually worth close to $15 million.
A good return on investment.
The
Yeah.
person who sold that is kicking themselves right
I
now.
know.
Oh my
Do you think they
gosh.
had like an inkling, or were they just like, this is a cool painting, I want to hang it up in my house?
From what it sounds like, there's a lot of different reports out there. From what it sounds like, a couple of years ago, somebody brought it forth and said, is this a Van Gogh? And it wasn't confirmed. And so now one of those experts in the world of art says it probably is a Van Gogh piece. So a person who previously had it, yeah, definitely kicking themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Shoot.
$50.
For all the middle children out there, science says you rule. A new study suggests the longest suffering siblings grow up to be better than their siblings, according to the long-running debate over whether or not order of birth can predict personality. According to Canadian authors of that study, middle children wind up being more honest, humble, and agreeable than their siblings. Also, when it came to honesty and humility and agreeableness, middle children scored the highest.
What do you think, Ryan?
Since I am a middle child, I'm going to show how humble I am and just say, I'm not sure how well this study plays out.
So
Personally, as with me and Briggs being the oldest children in the
know.
family, I think that we are actually the best, of course.
Oh, what about,
Seriously.
is it Bauer who's the
Yeah,
middle child?
Bauer is
What do you think
middle.
about Bauer?
Bauer's way smarter than Gates and I. I'll say that. No, we'd all admit it.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah, in that sense, yeah, better than us.
I think the thing about middle children is you learn to adapt really well. You go,
I
okay, like
suppose.
I had two sisters, so being in the middle sometimes of their discussions, or not necessarily fights, but you go, I'm going to take a step back and see what's going on,
Sure.
and then I'll maneuver however I need
Yeah.
to.
Become more cautious
Yeah.
in a way, you know? Yeah.
Right.
But the firstborn's the one that's, trudging through. The parents
Yeah.
have no idea what they're doing. We're the one that they're making all their mistakes on, and then by the time you come around,
I know.
then they're all fine. They're like,
That's
oh,
great for me. I had
Exactly.
a good time.
Then the third kid, they don't even care about.
I know all the rules applied to me, and they slowly dwindle.
Yes! So ridiculous.
Stuff out there for the
Hey,
oldest.
quickly, growing up in the Northland means learning some lingo that may be foreign to folks not from here. And as a kid, my grandparents used to call a couch a Davenport.
So did I.
Did yours? Okay.
Yes.
Well, here's why. Google says the A.H. Davenport Company made custom sofas for wealthy clients out there. The name came as a generic term for a large upholstered sofa.
So it's like a Kleenex versus a tissue.
You're right.
Probably.
Right. Brand name.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Davenport users watching us today.
Get out there.
We'll see you after the break.
Coming up on Monday, folks, here on Northern Life, Ryan and I travel to Duluth's Spirit Valley neighborhood, where chicken has found a new home, of course. We tour the new Chicken and What shop, learning where their inspiration came from and trying a ton of their delicious items off the menu. Also learning how to say chicken and what.
Chicken and what?
It was so tasty, and I still long for that chicken quite a bit.
Love for it. I'm excited to figure out how they came up with the name Chicken and What.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting.
Did we ask that question?
I think we did.
Okay, good.
I think that was my first question.
Good.
there you
Excellent.
Yeah, be sure to tune in on Monday for that answer. And then on Tuesday, Hunter takes me on a lengthy drive to the woods north of Duluth. You better buckle up and bring some ear protection, because let's just say we're going sledding, and it's not under our own power.
You got
What
that dog
could it
in
be?
you.
We got that dog. Just like my sweatshirt says, got that dog in you. Any weekend plans for you guys?
Oh man.
Put down spots.
Nope.
Nothing.
Just hanging out, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, how about
Hanging
you?
on the old Davenport.
We're going to Chisholm and Hibbing for a couple of days here. So yeah, come hang with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
I'm not sure.
We're in the same
winging
boat.
it.
Yeah, Davenport, here I come.
There we go.
Well, hey, thank you for joining us this week. We love you.
We'll see you back here on Monday. Wishing you all a very great weekend.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.